Hey everybody, Rich Lovell with the Vacaville Baseball Barn, Master Instructor with Epstein Hitting System and Epstein Hitting Online Academy. Subscribe to us right now if you haven't already. So I want to talk a little bit about a video that a real good friend of mine out in Texas. I grew up in East Texas and he's on that border of East Texas versus West Texas, right there in the Dallas area. Ron Sullivan, Master Instructor also with the Epstein Hitting System. And he brought up something called, I think his video was on Unnatural Selection. And I was watching the video and I got intrigued by it. And it got me to thinking, based on a lot of the things that he talked about, and essentially this is what you get. The guys that you start seeing in travel ball that are hitting the ball really well, fielding the ball really well, throwing the ball really well, they've always been kind of natural at that. And then the guys that aren't so good either are the 10, 11, 12 player on that team, or they're not on that particular travel ball team. They're on a team that is in maybe single A versus double A, or double A versus majors, or open. And I got to think of what really comes about on that. And here's why I'm bringing this up. If you're that guy that's 10, 11, 12, or didn't quite make that team, stick with it. Because I'm working right now with a kid that's 14, I'm working with another kid that's 12, 13, and another kid that's right around 10, 11. They do pretty good in the field, but boy, their batting really suffers. And their parents have told me the same thing. They're inconsistent at the plate, or they strike out all the time, but they're in the field for a reason, because they're extremely athletic. And it got me to thinking about that again. The natural selection of it. Most coaches are looking for that top guy. The guy that at least hits the ball hard when he does hit it. May not be as consistent as everyone else, but he's hitting the ball 60, 70% of the time, 50, 60% of the time, to where these other kids are hitting the ball 10% of the time. Can something be done about it? Absolutely. And I say that emphatically because the one younger guy that I've got in here, very athletic, loves football, middle linebacker at like 65, 70 pounds, and his dad says he just crushes people. Really athletic the way he moves. The problem is his technique is really bad, or was. I've only seen him once. He's coming back in next week. But he has this really big pushback, and the barrel gets down here. One of the few times I've ever talked about the back shoulder and backside really collapsing bad, where the back shoulder's dropping. And again, I believe my good friend Ron did a video on that as well, and that's what this kid did, and it was just a big loop, and he missed everything. 50 pitches that I gave him, he didn't hit one. By the end of the session, and we've got him doing the contact drill, he's gone from this to learning how to get the bat shorter and into the ball. I have a really good feeling when he comes in this next week, that he'll be hitting exactly how I want him to, but still with some flaws. The older guys, same way. One kid could hit the ball, but it's a pop-up ground ball. Every now and then a weak line drive, and then occasionally he crushed one. Inconsistency. So now that we've got him consistently swinging the bat for his over the middle part of the plate, waist high, he's crushing. Once he gets that specific technique down 100%, then we'll start teaching him how to make adjustments on the fly. Those are the things that I'm talking about. Stick with it. Find a qualified instructor that doesn't just stand in front of you and toss balls and go, yeah, that's what I'm talking about. Get someone that can look at your flaws and say, hey, we need to work on your upper body first. Your lower body's not great. It's okay. But everything up top, we need to get that in sync. We need to get the lower body first as far as movement, and work on how the rest of your body comes through here. Get something fixed first before you move on to the next. Hopefully that helps you out. My main message here, stick with it, guys. Don't give up. You never know when you're going to develop. You never know when it's going to click to you. Continue to work hard at it, and if you do, you'll see the rewards of your hard work. Again, check us out on Facebook, subscribe to us, share us with your friends and family and coaches, and then we'll see you next time around.